It's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a good one.
Definitely a different type of process.
Cut down or freeze up.
Being a coach's son.
Jackson, of course, they keep retooling. One stone to face, a hit by pitch. Oh my goodness.
Hey, welcome back to Baseball 101. I am Darin Cissell. This is Eric Gough. If you watched last year, you know we know each other. Actually, we know each other a lot better now, though.
Absolutely, had a great spring. Getting around you from the coaching side for the first time. It was phenomenal.
So, to catch you up that don't know, we started playing together 4 or 5 years old, together in high school, and we've known each other since. And last spring, when I decided maybe I was going to coach a little more, Coach Gough was nice enough to give me the opportunity to come over and coach.
Come on out.
And what started as I'll be there a couple of times a week turned into I was there a lot.
Yep, a little more than you expected, I think.
But I told him before the season, like, hey, if I'm coming over, we got to go to the Final Four. So that was nice of you to do that for me.
Yeah, I think you kind of helped be a part of that. So we appreciate you coming over and helping us win a few key games.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And the nice part is I got to see Coach Gough as a head coach. I've known him as a player. I've known him as a friend. I've known him as a competitor. But to see the other side of Zumwalt West was so special. And as we're talking about kind of best practices of coaching this fall, Coach Beckman was on last week, shared some awesome things that he does at House Central. Just things that it's weird because you can see other programs, they do things differently. And then once you talk to them, it explains why you see what you see.
Yeah, I think there's so much we miss as coaches. I mean, I've tried to learn as much as I can competing against other guys, particularly when you got such great coaches that we have in the area of the GAC South. That I just think, man, if I could just take a 1-year sabbatical and go coach for 2 weeks at Hal Central, 2 weeks at Hal, just bounce around to all the GAC schools and see how guys operate a couple weeks. Oh my gosh, how valuable would that be?
Yeah. It's awesome. I mean, that's what I got to do a little bit. I got to see the other side of Zumwalt West, from rival to wearing the purple, which threw my wife off a lot.
Oh, for sure.
My son as well.
And let's not lie, it threw our guys off too.
Oh, it threw everyone off. I mean, umpires are like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
So that was
blast.
Part of the deal. But the nice part is I got to see what you do, and it explained a lot of how come your players do play the way they play, which was really special.
Yeah. And I've enjoyed having those conversations with you and you being a part of that process last year.
Well, so now I get to get your input, or at least you get to share now that you're retired.
Yep.
So 3 Final Fours in 16 years of coaching?
16 seasons, 16 head seasons, yeah.
But since 2017, 3 since 2017, so 3 in 8 years?
Yep.
So once you got the kind of the culture and the climate moving in the right direction, you started. I mean, it's weird how that happens, but once kids start believing, and once you kind of have your process and understand what you want to do, it just snowballs.
It snowballs, yeah. And it's the 17 crew in particular, they kind of broke through that ceiling for us at Zumwalt West, and they're the group that made everyone realize in our program, that's possible.
Yeah. Which is so important.
Oh, so important. Just understanding of what reality you can achieve is a huge piece of the puzzle. And then the 21 crew, obviously after the COVID season, the 21 crew just established what has really been carried on just as a sense of brotherhood and accountability within the group. And when you get a team like that goes and does things at such a high level and competes so well together and plays for each other, the groups that follow say, I want to do what they did.
Yeah.
And it just keeps building.
I think I don't want to say shocked, but I really was shocked by how fiercely loyal the players and the staff are to Zumwalt West.
Yeah. There's, we throw the word love around a lot. we love the game, we love competing, but most of all, we love each other. And
that's I mean, not to interrupt, but that's not something you're saying. Like, I saw this. This was different than any other program I've seen or heard about. Like, these guys, and not just guys, the staff, the community, the AD, Coach White, like, everyone, there's a love for and appreciation for each other that I had never experienced. And I'm no offense to Hal. I love Hal. I've been Hal my whole life. But it was just so different than anything I'd experienced that I was just, to a degree, shocked. Like, wow, it's so different.
And it's, I feel blessed to have been able to be a part of that, because it takes the right mix of kids to buy into what you're trying to sell.
To get it started.
And then once you get it, like once we got that started and got that established, I felt like it was our job as a coaching staff just not to mess it up. Let's keep this going. Let's make sure kids keep buying in. And it takes the right kids to buy into it. But man, when they do, and they go all in and really play selflessly, it's really a special thing, because it's so different for what these kids experience in summer ball growing up, what kids experience possibly in different programs. And it's a special thing that I've just been very blessed to have been a part of at Zumwalt West over the past many years.
Well, I think the thing that stood out, because I was thinking about having this conversation with you, and I'm like, what was different? What did I see last spring? And you were so intentional with everything you did. Like, the first day, like, you knew the freshmen, you knew the sophomores, you knew everyone in your program, you knew who they were. Yeah. You were intentional about going up to each of those kids, having conversations, and it just, from practices to your meetings to, like, there was a sense of just the intentional details of what you did I was like, this is unbelievable. And like I talked to Coach Beckman last week, you were so intentional with forming relationships that each one of those kids would run through a wall for you.
Yeah, and I think, everybody knows the old saying, kids don't care about what you know until they know what you care or how much you care.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we've always tried to do, is just through, having kids come to camp when they're 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. We learn their names, we get to know them, we interact with them. And some of those guys, by the time they graduate, they've been coming to camp since they were in 3rd or 4th grade. Yeah. So we've had a 8-9 year relationship with them. And then for the exceptional special guys, the guys like the Nolan Systems that that start coming around there, or the Cooper Robertsons, or those kind of guys that go through the program, the Britton Robertsons, that they're just they're camp rats, and they show up to camp when they're kindergarten, 1st, 2nd graders. Sometimes by the time you say goodbye your senior year, you have a 12 year relationship with them.
And that's where you don't say goodbye.
No, absolutely not.
Because you still have those relationships.
Yeah.
I talked last week. I don't know if you remember James Allen from the 08 group.
Yeah. Like,
I went and had breakfast with him. Like, when you've had a relationship with these kids for 10, 12, 15, like, it doesn't end there.
No. And that's what I love, is I love, running into kids here and there. And there's really nothing more rewarding than when a kid comes back, a few years later and says, Coach, I tell all my buddies, I tell everybody, I've never had that much fun playing baseball as how much fun we had with these guys here at Zumwalt West.
So that's one of the questions I have for you, because I think it's interesting. I went out to a club. It was the Gators. I went out and spoke about buntmaster.com.
Plug it.
I was going to say, you need someone to teach bunting, I'm here.
He is the guy.
We'll talk about that later. But I told the coaches, because I was just watching them get ready, it was all their youth coaches. And I told them, I'm like, guys, you have 2 tasks. 1, to develop not just baseball, but as a person, and 2, to have fun.
Yep.
And I think that carries over to high school, club, whatever it is. When kids come in, they want to get better at baseball.
Yeah.
Our job is to help them get better at baseball. But we know baseball is short term, and we can see, hey, as a person, we need to develop you. But it's got to be fun. And I think the amount of fun that kids at Zumwalt West have, and I've said before, the high school experience is different for every kid, every program.
Oh, sure.
Whether you play for Beckman, Perkins, Coach Hill, any of the head coach's personality is what the experience the kids get.
Sure.
At Zumwalt West, the amount of fun that you guys have, I was like, this is crazy. I'm just curious, are there certain things, I talk about being intentional. Do you intentionally do certain things to have fun with them? I know like the hat day thing threw me off. I never seen that crazy hat day.
Yeah, we do a few things. I mean, you got to have fun, especially late in the season. You know, he's talking about our hat day. It's a crazy hat practice. Kids wear whatever headgear they want. It's a shorts and t-shirts practice. We get a goofy picture at the end of the day. You just got to do a few things like that because it's something that kids look forward to. Like our guys will talk about team bonding. Like our captains run with some team bonding. You know, they love they really do enjoy the Monday morning meetings, which I'm sure is probably on your list.
Yeah, it's coming up.
But our first Saturday after tryouts, we have our first team meeting. It is way long. It could be way monotonous and way boring, but the kids love it. Because they do that. They go out and get some feel-good BP, and then they go do some team bonding. They hang out, and they just enjoy spending time together and with each other. So we try to do some things within practices to keep things lively and upbeat and kind of mix things up a little bit and yet challenge them and have fun at the same time.
Well, they definitely have fun.
No doubt about that.
And even the pregame, we didn't get to do it, and they running out to center field and the yelling and screaming before a game. Like from the other side, I was always like, is this like, to a degree, I'm like, not to be done. Is this fake? Is this like, are they really that passionate about being here? And then being on that side this year, I was like, no, this is just these guys.
Yeah, it's just who they are.
They're not trying to show anyone up. They're not trying to do anything other than they love being on this field. Yeah. And they want to have fun. Yeah. And running before the game to center field, screaming and yelling, and who would have won? So we had a little bet early on.
Coach Cissell would have won. He's still a better athlete.
So we had a little bet early on. It was probably the second week.
Yeah, sounds right.
And we were talking about before a game that we were going to race each other. And I go, whoa, hold on. If we're going to race, this has to be big stage.
Yeah.
So Final Four. So we were going to run out to center field at the Final Four, which thank God you broke your foot. No offense, but I would have pulled a hammy.
I did it for you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Andon Hyde.
Yes. Coaching point, stay behind the screen.
It's advised.
Yeah. Is that the first time you've got that?
I got hit in the hip a few times here and there through the little crook of the L back in the old days.
Yeah.
Everybody learns their lessons the hard way, and that story is, 29 years in teaching and coaching. And literally the day I retired, it was the last day of teacher meetings, got all wrapped up. We're retired. Congratulations. You are officially done teaching, and went out to ball practice and left my right foot outside the L screen getting ready for the Final Four, and Andon Hyde sniped me and broke my foot. So, 9 out of 10 experts will recommend you stay behind the L screen. It's a little bit safer that way.
I will say in your defense, the L screens are not the greatest L screens I've ever
They're not. They're not.
So I'm not going to blame the L screen, but you left it hang out there.
I left it hanging.
But that's okay. Yeah. But as far as the fun and the running and those things, like it was very refreshing to see kids come to practice, come to games, and they wanted to be there. There was no, do we have to do this? They were asking to get there earlier. They're asking to stay late.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's how, when the culture is they have fun and they want to be there, they put in the extra work. They put in the extra time. You don't have to force it. When it's forced, kids aren't going to really be working hard anyway.
No, I knew we were getting on, we were getting on to something at Zumwalt West when we said, hey, practice starts at 2:50. And then we had a group, maybe somewhere in the 2013, 14, somewhere in there, that, say, hey, practice starts at 2:50. And we would have our captains who at 2:45, they got guys going, and boom, they're gone. They're starting practice 3, 4, 5 minutes early every darn day because they're ready to go. And I think a big thing for us to get that established was just starting with why. Letting kids know the reason behind everything that we were doing. And then also a big learning curve for me took place when I realized that I just need to let the kids play. My job as a head coach is to teach the game, teach the fundamentals, teach the, all the team defense stuff, teach the base running. And then when it comes game time, it's them. It's their show. I mean, and people can try to pick up our signs, but good luck, because half the time I don't know that we're running.
Yeah.
Half the time I don't know that we're bunting, because our kids are free to do it whenever they want. And a lot of times the conversations were simply, Hey, Darin, why weren't you bunting there?
Yeah.
Didn't you see him back there? You should have been bunting. Oh, yeah, I got to notice that, coach. So, and it would be the conversation of, hey man, you got a big leg kick there. You need to be heads up on that, and you need to be running on that pitch.
Make them more aware so that the next time they know what to look for instead of micromanaging and being like, steal because I saw the leg kick. It's, hey, look for the leg kick so you can play the game.
Yeah. So and when I actually I think that was a big turning point for our program is when, quite frankly, I let go. I let go of a lot of that control. And of course, when you let go of that control, you run some risks of some things that, we've had some problems within our program that we've had to get through, but it also allowed us to go to that next level.
And you brought up, and I mean, I can hear the words, and from the outside, you don't know, but when he says he lets them play, he lets them play. And I think that was one of the things that I was, again, to a degree, shocked about. The level that you trust your players and your captains and your coaches is unbelievable. Like if the players came to you and said, hey, we need a day off.
Yeah. We need off. Yeah. It's a grind. I mean, and we talk to the captains and say, hey, what do you think we need today? Do we need a hit and get? Do we need a grinder of a practice? Do we need to push through and set the tone today? And the thing is, when you have that leadership in place with the captains and you trust your coaching staff, that, when they come to you and say, man, coach, guys are tired, we're dogging it. I think a day off would be the best thing we need right now. And at times I would think to myself, man, I think we maybe need a day off. And I would ask the captains, hey, do we need a day? And they would talk amongst themselves and come back and say, coach, no way, not today. We need to go to work today, and we need to establish the tone and get back after. And like, all right, let's go. I said, but you guys need to make sure that we are setting the tone and we are being productive at practice. And they do.
And that's where, going back, and I meant to ask Beckman last week, I forgot, but some teams have captains, some don't.
Mm-hmm.
Some teams have captains that are appointed by the coach. Some have them appointed by the players.
Yep.
Do you want to explain kind of that process? And then once the captains are set, do you sit down and have that conversation of this is what's expected from you?
It depends on the group.
Yeah.
It depends on how strong your leadership is. But generally speaking, I like to meet with the captains about once a week. And sometimes it's just a quick after practice. Hey, captains, over here, let's talk. Sometimes it would be, hey, captains, Wednesday morning, come in and talk. We got a few things that I want to address with you guys. But we've settled into the pattern where our kids vote for captains on that first Saturday meeting. We've always, as coaches, used discretion or thought, if they don't vote right, we're going to put our 2 cents in and make sure they get it right. And every time we voted for captains, our kids have got it right. We've never felt like they missed on what they saw or what they wanted out of their leadership. So that's never been a problem for us. But the biggest thing our captains do is they really set that tone for accountability, which, that's something early on. For me, I'm not much of a disciplinarian. But when I kind of got over that hump and kind of had that epiphany that not only is that a really important piece in the program, kids want it.
Yeah.
Kids want to have discipline because they want to know exactly what's expected of them so that they can meet that expectation. And quite frankly, so many kids want to go above that expectation. But it's just so important with having that accountability piece where, for us, being on time was a really important thing. From Monday morning meetings at 6:30 a.m., the expectation was that everybody was in the auditorium, cell phones, headphones put away, hoods down. We're sitting in the first 2-3 rows and we're ready to pay attention. We're locked and we're ready to go. And if guys didn't meet that expectation, it was on the captains to hold them accountable. And they would dole out the discipline and they would take care of it. So when you go from kind of that top-down accountability to accountability within the team, it's a really powerful thing because they buy into why is this important.
Well, in the structure you had, I know I would see like this, you sent to the coaches, hey, I sent this to the captains.
Yep.
Like the captains would get the message, the captains would communicate. So a lot of the things came through the captains to you or you through the captains to the players, which is interesting because I've never seen that. I know everyone does it differently, and I wasn't sure how that would work, but the quality of leadership at West this year was great.
That was great.
And
Awesome
they
kids.
were, I mean, that's why it was a Final Four team. And arguably, we ran into one pitcher. Otherwise, I think we went state. Like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, that kid was, and we barreled some balls. That's a whole nother cover. But that structure, and I think the other thing that really stood out, those Monday morning meetings, being intentional, like with the goal setting process. Like, I got to see that. I was there for that and go through, this is the school record. This is what we were last year. This is where do you think we should be? Like, they had a say, their voices are heard in every aspect of the program. Yeah. Which was really cool to see. Like, you trust the players and go, hey, if you guys think we can steal this many bases a game or what, and it wasn't just them. Your approach with building a program and not a team was special. Like, those Monday morning meetings, the freshmen or C team, whatever it's called now, JV and varsity, for all of them to see what's going on, and even them being included in the player, they do their own offensive and the pitcher and offense player
of the week. Yeah.
So, like, everyone in that program knows each other. So that was the thing that when people were asking, I'm like, the varsity players will stay and watch the freshman game because they know who the freshmen are. Yeah. And a lot of programs, there's such a disconnect of, like, I couldn't even tell you who's on the freshman team. So those little things that I hadn't seen before were so, even this one, I almost fell over one day.
I'm not even sure what you're going to say.
I know. And that's what JV had a game and you took varsity off the field so JV could be on the field early. And I'm like, where are we going? But it was the program's more important than the team. And that happened. That wasn't just a one-time thing. That's the norm of, like, if JV or freshmen have a game, varsity goes down to the cage or varsity moves because it's a program-first approach instead of a team-first approach, which, again, things I never saw from the outside, but that mentality of, like, the whole program matters. From the last guy on the freshman team to Nolan's system, all state kid, they're all the same. They're all treated the same, and they all matter.
We love them all.
Yeah. Which was really cool to see up close.
And that was really important for me when I got the job as the head coach, is I wanted to build the program. And early on, it was establishing the camps, the summer camps, and kind of getting kids rooted into that. And early on, we did a hitting camp on top of our regular summer camp for many years. And we did that just to be around the young guys, to get to know the kids, to get them used to us. And I think that, having all those contacts with those kids from a young age coming on up, when they get to be a freshman, they already knew a little bit about us and who we were. And I was so blessed as a head coach. It was about 10 years that we had the exact same paid coaching staff at Zumwalt West. It was from about 2010 to maybe even 2021. We had myself, Ryan Edding, Matt Sissom at the JV level, and Brian Spees at the freshman level. And to have that stability with such a phenomenal group of coaches that we were all on the same page, it was so much fun to go to work with those guys. And we had some different volunteer guys kind of come and go through that time. But to just have that stability and be around those kids, and they knew us and we knew them. And then we've had a few changes since then, and obviously a big change coming next year with Coach Sissom taking over. But he's just going to continue to take those things and roll and make some things even better. But
the guys that came back, Frankie, Alagna, those are Zumwalt West guys.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Like, those are guys that have pride in the program.
Yep.
But also, we talked earlier about me coming over, definitely threw some things off. Because they didn't know me. I was the how guy, and there was definitely some it took some time.
Took some time to get the trust.
And it wasn't just from one person. It was from all
Staff
of them.
And players alike.
It was I told the Kirkwood story yesterday, or with Beckman last week, because, and he brought up, he's like, it's a we thing. It's a we thing. I'm like, yeah, I learned the we thing. Yeah. Kirkwood, I learned we don't say you. And that was all things that each program have their identity. And that's one that is driven in at West, that it's all of us together. Yeah. And it's special. It's different, and system's going to carry forward, allow those things. But you're talking about this coaching. It's another thing that I really noticed this year, the amount that you trust your coaches. I mean, Frankie, unbelievable job scouting.
Oh, my gosh.
Great job, Frankie. I'm sure you're not watching, but that's okay.
Frankie will watch. I guarantee it. Frankie.
He's doing a scouting report on us.
Unbelievable.
But his his work ethic, his preparation, what he does, taking the pictures, like to my knowledge, all the bullpens, all that stuff,
100%. Why would I have any input? And actually it's interesting because every coach kind of has their own personality. And like before Coach Franklin was there, Coach Chris Robertson was there.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, what a wealth of knowledge. And it's like, Coach Rob, you got him, go. I didn't do a thing. And of course, when you have guys that have pitched at that level and have that knowledge and they're willing to take it and run with it, you'll just let them go.
Oh.
Like I would tell our guys early on in morning throwings, I said, if Coach Robertson's talking about pitching or Coach Franklin's talking about pitching, or even now Coach Walker's in there helping out, is like, fellas, if they're talking, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to listen because I'm going to learn something right here.
Well,
And so obviously those guys kind of have their own different styles, but early on, Coach Franklin in his first week or two of games with us as a coach at the varsity level, I did something that upset him. And I'm not going to lie, he kind of ripped me a new one. He said, don't you ever talk to my pitchers like that ever again. And, after I thought about it for about 30 seconds, I said, man, he's right.
But he's taking ownership.
And I said, Frankie, thank you for making me a better coach.
Yeah.
And that's just part of the trust and the love that I have for those guys is I learned from them. They push me to be better, which is why, I give them, say, go, you got them. Can I be a better infield coach than Matt Sissom? No, absolutely no chance. Coach Sissom, you got him. Can I coach catchers better than Ryan Edding? Absolutely no chance. You got him. Go. Yeah. Can I coach bunting better than Coach Cissell? Not a chance. Coach Cissell, you got him. So but
the trust, there's some coaches that want to micromanage everything. For you to turn over and go, Frankie, they're yours. And just like it makes a lot of sense, but not every coach can do that. And to see you be able to, and again, Sissom, by the way, you're a great coach as well. I was more afraid of Frankie. So, I mean, Sissom and Frankie together, those guys are special. And that program's going to keep moving the right direction because
absolutely.
They do so many things well, starting with the relationships. And I mean, every pitcher knows that Frankie is there for him. Every hitter knows Sissom. And like those relationships, it's just another thing that I saw this year that I was like, wow. And obviously I tried to stay away to a degree at the corner of the dugout where I'd like to be. But there were a couple times Frankie was, so that's what you actually do, huh? I'm like, yeah, this is what I do. I just stand down here and occasionally I say things and no one I'll hide in the corner. Although I did wear my purple pants.
And you look good in them too.
I did. I didn't.
Yeah, that was a big hurdle we got over there too.
Well.
I was really proud of you for that one.
Well, if I would have showed up to the game without those pants on.
It would have been a problem.
I was going to say, I would have been in trouble.
Yeah, it would have been a problem.
So, clear expectations.
We had to get you there. We got you there eventually.
Yeah, I got them. But we're going back to the fun part.
Yeah.
Did you pick the purple pants?
No, I hate them. I absolutely hate them. But hey, it's not about me.
And that's what I'm saying.
It's about the kids.
Allow the kids to have fun.
The kids wanted the purple pants with the pinstripes. I think, and I still do. They're absolutely terrible.
Oh, they are not.
But they love
uniforms.
No, they love them. Hey, I don't care.
And that's what I think the understanding.
Kids.
This is about them having fun. Their high school experience.
Yep.
If they love them and they want to go out there in purple pants, here you go.
Let's go, man. That's going to make you feel good, and let's go to war with them. Let's go.
I wouldn't have picked purple pants.
I didn't.
And that's what's, again, just another example of kind of letting the kids be kids. And you do have boundaries and accountability within those structures.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, people I think from the outside are like, well, you said you're not disciplinary. No, there are very clear boundaries. And if you cross them, there's consequences.
Yeah.
But the other thing I noticed, I'm sorry, there's a lot of things I noticed this year. We were talking about being intentional. Before and after every drill, you talk to them.
Yeah.
You pull them in and talk to every single, like I've been around a lot of coaches. That's not the norm. That's different. I know you might not know, but I've been around to different places and to see the intentional, hey, here's the drill. This is why we're doing it. This is what we're doing and all that, which brings me to really the question that we're circling back to, but you start with Simon Sinek's What Is Your Why? That first
absolutely
Saturday.
Every year. Yep.
Like I was there for the ironic part of that is I teach a class and I start the class with What Is Your Why? Like that's one of the classes I teach. I kid you not. He's showing the same videos I showed to teach. And that's why I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, did I give him my slides? Like this?
Nope, didn't. Nope.
No,
We hadn't talked about it prior to them.
Never even talked about it. And you're going through the same exact material, same thought process. And honestly, at that moment, I was like, if I was a head coach, this is what my program would look like.
Yep.
Like there's such similarities of the things that you have learned from and driven you. So have you ever, I know you have, but you start out talking about what is your why. What is your why that you tell the team why you coach and why you do what you do?
Well, I would tell them that every year. I said, my why was to give back. I was always, that was my why to get into education. I think that's why so many of us get into teaching and coaching, is because we had that teacher or that coach or that group of coaches that made an impact on our lives and helped us shape who we are. And I was always so thankful of all those coaches through all the sports that I played, that helped shape me and allowed me to learn and grow as an individual and understand what it meant to be a part of the team. And, I wanted to be a part of that on the other side, that my why was helping them learn something about themselves and learn something about teamwork and cooperation, and for them to come through that process and be better at life on the other side. That's my why. And, I know that I share this story, and it still chokes me up when I share this one. But, we never won a state title in my time at Zumwalt West. Had some great runs with some Final Four, but the thing that I will hold higher than a championship trophy till the day I die is Jake Fashore. When we got off the bus after his senior year, we lost in a district semi, I believe, and when we got back to the field, the kids spent literally about an hour just on the field. They said, "Coach, can we open up the field? We want to get on the field."
Yeah.
You bet. So our season was done. Kids didn't throw their junk in their car and take off. They went and hung out on the field for about an hour.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget what Jake Fashore said to me. It's something along the lines of, "Coach, I don't know how it happened or when it happened or exactly what made it happen, but somehow playing football in our football program with those guys and those coaches, Coach Novak, and playing baseball for you and all the guys over here, somehow it's made me a better man." And there's not any win that can take that away, or loss or anything, but that's always been my why, is trying to help kids be better people on the other side and just teaching life through baseball.
And those lessons, those are the lessons that go on. Because when people live from their why, they're able to have a much better life than someone that just goes with the flow. Like for them to reflect and understand, this is why I do what I do. This is why I get up in the morning. This is why I have these relationships. This is why I coach, why I teach. You do at a higher level because you're driven by it. You're not just doing it. You're
driven by it. And in the good times, it pushes you to be driven more. And in the bad times, it kind of gets you through the low spots. So that's what we build our program on, is what is the why. And then, we establish that early on, and then we build on that. Weekly with our meetings, we build on it daily at practice. It's, hey, here's the drill. Here's why we're doing it. And then we come together at the end, we close it off and say, what do we do well? What do we need to do better? Here's some things to remember. Let's make sure we're focused on this and keep getting better.
That's the intentional part of the why, the intentional part of the goals. At the beginning are foundational pieces that you come back to every single week. And there's accountability for those goals, for the why, for every aspect. That's what I'm saying. The word that came to mind when I was reflecting on being there last year was everything's intentional. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just accidental of like, why is this program successful? It's not because of players. Players, obviously, but to me, success is not about wins and losses. It's the development. I think I'm at a point now where, to me, a successful program is one where a kid has a great high school experience, enjoys the game, even if they don't play, even if they lose, they had fun. It was a great experience. And then if you have talent, you win. Yeah. But the wins and losses, it doesn't matter. It really, at the end of the day, we all compete. We all want to win. But that's not our why. No. At least that's not my why.
Yeah. It's about learning and growing.
So you talked about other coaches that had poured into you. What were some coaches you had that you saw that kind of helped motivate you to be those coaches? Like when you were growing up, there any coaches that stand out that you were like, this coach had a big impact on how I do things?
Well, obviously the head coaches. Playing football at Francis Howell back in the day, Coach Gensler.
Yeah.
I still remember he would have preseason meetings with us. he would pull us aside and talk about our priorities and help us get those lined up. And, that's a commitment when the head football coach is meeting individually with every single kid to talk about his individual goals, what the team goals look like, and establishing those priorities. I mean, that made an impact on me. Obviously being around Terry Kasper, Tony Perkins, and some great, being blessed to play at Francis Howell on some great baseball teams. And just being around those systems and the impact they had on me, not just as a baseball player, but just all those lessons to learn and grow of life through baseball. And then, for me, kind of being on the other side of that fence is I was so fortunate my first year at Hickman High School in 1996, fall of 96. I was coaching with Greg Nesbitt at Hickman High School, who is a Hall of Fame high school coach. Yeah. And then on the flip side, that spring, I got to coach with Kent Fuel, who is a Hall of Fame baseball coach there from Hickman. And it was such a growth process for me because their coaching philosophies were complete polar opposites. And yet their philosophies fit their personalities. Kids understood it. Mm-hmm. Kids bought into it. And they were both extremely successful because they were able to teach the game through their personality and do it the way that fit them.
Which is so important. Mm-hmm. You can only be who you are.
Right.
You can't, and that's what I read a lot of Coach Wooden. I'm not Coach Wooden.
Fantastic. Yeah.
But the ideas and the way he did things, just to reveal, there's so many coaches that write books, and I mean, I used to read a lot of books on coaching because I was curious. But at the end of the day, all of them said the same thing. Like, you have to be you.
Yeah. You can't.
You can take ideas like the Monday morning meeting. From seeing it, it's awesome.
It's not for everybody.
But it has to fit your program. It's got to fit your personality. Yeah. And I told you, I think it was that first week, like, you're the energy that makes this go right now. Yeah. And you can't get kicked out of any games, which you did. Right. Good job. Good job. It was good. But
like that Monday morning meeting, it's part of what we have at Zumwalt West that you saw was just through a lot of trial and error. It was, our first Monday morning meeting. I go back and look at my first Monday morning meeting and I laugh at it because it was about 10 slides long.
It was a starting point.
It was a starting point. And then it grew to what would get sent out to the parents every Monday. We would review with the players anywhere between 50 and 70 slides with tons of information and recognizing kids and goals at every level and lessons and book studies and whatever we wanted to throw at them. So it evolved, to say the least, but that's being willing to learn and grow. We've done things in our program that have failed and we said, we're never doing that again. But we've always been willing to try new things, to throw out what doesn't work and keep what does.
And I think as a coach, you have to be able to try and keep expanding. It's easy to go, I've had success and this is just how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But as players change, as expectations, as things change, you cannot be stuck in this is the way to do it. Like what worked 15, 20 years ago.
Oh, the games are different. The game's changed.
The
game's different. The kids are different. And the game you and I played, when we saw 90 miles an hour on once or twice a year, it was holy smokes, guy. I mean, if a kid was throwing 87, 88 back in the day, we had a hard time catching up with it. And quite frankly, these guys are seeing 87, 88 every Tuesday, Wednesday. And a lot of Tuesday, Wednesdays, they're seeing 92, 94.
There's definitely so next week, Coach Kasper, Terry Kasper is going to be on here. And Tony Perkins.
Oh, getting them back together.
So for those who don't know, that was our coaching staff. Coach Kasper was our head coach. Coach Perkins was our assistant coach. And one of the things I want to talk about with them is just the changes in the game since. I mean, Terry Kasper played at Howell I think he graduated in 74-ish.
Yep.
And he's been around since the beginning of the GAC. So to go and talk about, and one of the things I want to ask them, like guys like Kent Kaiser, Paul James, if they play today, what would that look like?
Right.
Like, I'm curious what their thoughts are. I know what my thoughts are, but I'm curious, like, you go back, things have changed a lot. We only played, 20 games a season?
Yeah, 20, maybe 25.
I mean, it wasn't, if a game got rained out, rained out.
Yeah, it rained out.
There was we ain't making that one up. Sorry, guys. Like, there's just been a lot to change. So I'm very curious. Next week's going to be a very interesting conversation because Coach Kasper is in the Missouri SMS, I guess Missouri State now, Hall of Fame. Yeah. Coach Perkins, obviously, Hall of Fame all time. He should break the wins record for Missouri. and me. So I don't know where I'm at on there, but we have seen a lot of baseball through the GAC from the beginning till now, and it'll be an interesting conversation.
I look forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. Got a lot of questions for that. So anyway, the game has changed. The way you coach it's got to change.
Yeah.
And that's what, even like Coach Kasper, when he coached us, like I was talking about some of the principles of accountability he taught me of, like, to me, the seniors were in charge of equipment, period. Like, if something didn't get done, it was on the seniors because it was a seniors team.
Yep.
I still believe I'm not a fan of, hey, you're responsible for that and that and that. It's seniors. You've been here long enough. You know what needs to get done.
Yep.
Get it done. If it doesn't get done, the seniors run.
Yeah.
To me, that philosophy works for him. And to me, it made sense of, like, I've been here 3 years in this program. If something's not getting done as a senior, I have to pick it up, or I have to get some, like.
But that goes back to, I mean, you're talking about servant leadership is what you're talking about. Like, your leader's number one job is to serve.
Absolutely.
And that's, and that's something we've tried to incorporate. That's something I've told my guys is my number one job is I'm here to serve you. I'm here to help you, to push you, to challenge you, to make you better. But, the kids will see me picking up equipment, and they'll see me picking up trash. And then the captains, and it'll be the expectation of captains. Hey, captains, we got this stuff over here. What's going on? We got it, coach. So it's just, it goes all the way back to what we learned back in the day.
Humility.
Yeah.
And that was, the words on here, and I saw that I've seen it from you. I see it from the amount of kids that would come and ask questions. And when I got there, obviously there was a little hesitancy of, like, asking or anything. I mean, Frankie's still mad because I wouldn't give signs. So.
Nope.
Just saying.
Just saying.
He was mad. You got mad at me. It's like, Frankie, I ain't giving it up. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But the humility of the kids to want to learn, like when kids think they know everything, that pride and the arrogance of, like, I'm too good to learn from you or you. I didn't see that. The kids were open and they wanted. I mean, Siggy, the first couple of days I was there, asked me 5,000 questions.
Yeah.
And I love Siggy. I mean, it was, and those questions led to him.
He wanted to get better.
He wanted to be the best version of him.
Yeah.
I mean, Benny, the first week, hey, how do I hit this? Like, they wanted to get better. They didn't think they were above being coached. They didn't think they had arrived. They wanted to be the best. And that goes all the way up to, like, Nolan and Pyle and those guys. Every one of them ask questions. They want to be the best they could be. And that's why when you have that sort of environment from the coaches that are constantly trying to get better to the players that are trying to get better, you end up with a program that is moving forward and achieving great things.
Yeah. Well, and when your best players are also your most coachable players and your hardest working players, that really establishes the tone. And we've been fortunate to have that be the case for quite a few years at Zumwalt West.
And it gets passed down. I know you talked about,
for sure,
like, Robertson taught Cissell how to be a Jaguar when he was there. And
oh yeah, because
before Robertson, it was
yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cooper was the guy who was going to be a freshman playing a little varsity. COVID got him, but Cooper was a contributor his sophomore, junior, senior year. So he was a 3-year starter, and then it was awesome to see Nolan made the varsity as a freshman, and he literally got in Cooper's hip pocket and just followed him around, and Nolan did everything because everything he did, he wanted to do it like Cooper did.
Yeah.
And now we got guys, I want to do what Nolan's doing. And so it just kind of carries on, just like you said.
And they should.
Absolutely.
I mean, Robertson, tremendous, and Nolan, and, like, these are great kids. And if I was a sophomore and some of the younger, like Fiala and some of those younger guys that are coming up, I would be right next to those guys, being like,
go learn.
Hey, how do I do this? But I've also seen where seniors don't want to pass it on.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, the expectation within this program is such a giving, servant, humility, like all the traits you would want, I saw this year. And that's why when I said, like, if I was a head coach, thank God I never was, but if I was, I would want the program to look like what you've created.
That means an awful lot coming from you, pal.
So,
Appreciate it.
It's interesting. We both had kind of the same upbringing where we played. We both went to the same high school. And then even our approach to coaching, like, I saw it across the field, but to see it side by side this year was special. I'm so thankful that I got to end coaching with you.
We're thankful you came over with us, buddy.
Like I said last year, like, we walked on to our first diamond together and we walked off in Ozark together. And it was a very fun journey, and I'm sure we will continue to explore some other baseball things as we move forward. But
Sure.
Appreciate you coming on, sharing so much about the program. Honestly, any of you coaches out there that are curious about anything he said, because I know being there, I'm sure I've missed some things that I'm sure people are like, why didn't you ask that? Because I'll watch something back and I'm like, well, I should have asked that question. I missed it.
Sure.
Reach out to Coach Gough. Like, he will be more than happy to share what he's done. Anything that's like to help young coaches. I've told last time you were on last year and we talked about kind of Zumwalt West, what you do. I told several coaches, I'm like, guys, go back and watch what Gough said. I'm telling you, that's what he does. And now this year, after seeing it, I would, any young coach, man, reach out to Coach Gough.
We have no secrets.
No. Well, why would we? We're trying to help others.
Absolutely.
So we're here to help. He knows more than I do about the head coach thing. But honestly, reach out, track him down, social media. You're on social media, right?
Well, best play, just shoot me an email. egough@fz.k12.mo.us, or just shoot me an email, coachgough@hotmail. Hotmail, it's that old.
Wow.
It's that old. coachgough@hotmail.
It was funny. Sorry. Coach Kasper sent me his email.
Hotmail.
AOL.
Oh, attaboy.
AOL.com.
Attaboy.
I didn't know it still existed.
It's impressive.
Coach Kasper, love you. But it's all AOL. Hotmail.
See, I'm not a dinosaur.
No, I mean, I guess, what was the net zero? That was even worse. Yeah. But that was a whole nother. I'm sorry, we took a left turn.
Digress.
It happens. But anyway, make sure that you go down that subscribe button we talked about last week. Long term, we need subscription, so push that thing. I don't know why I'm doing this. Push that, whatever. You figure it out. You're smart like that. Like it and share it. If you know a club coach, high school coaches, they're just starting and they're like trying to figure things out. That's why we're doing this. This isn't just for us to have fun, which it was fun.
Absolutely. Always fun.
Always fun. But make sure you share it. Next week, you don't want to miss. I mean, Coach Kasper he's been around. He's experienced. I'll say that. AOL.com. But he was our coach, taught us a lot of the foundational pieces that we still use to this day. Coach Perkins was the assistant coach. Ironically, he was the fun one. I told people that, and they're like, no way. I'm like, no, legitimately.
Absolutely.
Like, Coach Perkins was the fun one. So things change over time.
Yeah, for sure.
Not always. Anyway. But next week, make sure you come back and watch that. Appreciate you watching. You guys have a great day.